Look around you. Every moment is filled with noise, blinking screens, endless notifications, opinions clashing in an endless digital storm. The world has become a constant hum, and within this hum, one thing quietly slips away: clarity. What's alarming is that most people don't even notice. They've adapted to this relentless buzz, believing it to be normal life. But behind the curtain, something deeper is at play. This isn't just the byproduct of modern technology, it's the architecture of modern control, a system built to keep your mind distracted, confused, and reactive. Over 400 years ago, Michel de Montaigne sensed the same human tendency, even in a quieter world. He wrote, "We are never at home in our own minds." He knew when we cannot dwell within ourselves, we become prey to the noise of others. Today, that noise is everywhere. Social media thrives on outrage. News cycles bombard you with crises. Algorithms feed you content, not for your growth, but to keep your attention hooked. And clarity. Clarity is not profitable. Clarity threatens the system. A person who sees clearly cannot be manipulated easily. This is why true clarity is now an act of rebellion. Stay with me. In the next section, we'll peel back the layers, how this fog is carefully created around us, and why escaping it demands courage most people will never find. Now ask yourself this: if clarity is so valuable, why is it so rare? Because the fog is not accidental, it is designed. Let's break it down. Your mind, evolved for a slower world, is constantly overwhelmed. Thousands of pieces of information flood your senses daily. The result? Cognitive fatigue. When exhausted, your mind defaults to shortcuts, tribal thinking, black and white judgments, emotional reactions. In this vulnerable state, you are easier to manipulate. Corporations exploit this. Politicians exploit this. Social platforms thrive on this. Why? Because a fogged mind is more profitable and more predictable. Montaigne warned, "The mind that is always in motion is not a free mind." And today, the world is built to keep your mind in constant motion. Scroll endlessly. Chase the next dopamine hit. Jump from outrage to outrage. This is no accident. It is a form of soft control. Because when you are caught in noise, you do not think deeply. You do not question authority. You do not awaken to uncomfortable truths. Most terrifying of all, you do not know yourself. This is how modern life keeps billions asleep with their eyes open. But there is a way out. And Montaigne showed us the path: a radical return to stillness and reflection. Stay with me, because in the next section, you'll discover how clarity can be reclaimed, and why that act alone can transform your entire life. What if the only way to see clearly is to first step away from the noise? That was Montaigne's insight. In an age of political chaos and superstition, Montaigne withdrew to his tower not to escape life, but to understand it. Surrounded by books and silence, he wrote, reflected, and wrestled with the truth. He wasn't hiding, he was sharpening his mind. He wrote, "The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself." Today, few belong to themselves. Most belong to their phones, to trends, to whatever story the world is spinning. Montaigne's practice was simple but powerful. He made space for deep thought, for questions without easy answers, for silence, where the noise of the world could not reach him. You can do this. 2. It begins with small acts. Turn off the constant stream of information. Sit with your own mind. Write not for likes, but for understanding. Walk not to escape, but to observe. In these moments, clarity begins to return. You notice what matters and what does not. You see through illusions. You reconnect with your inner self. But this is not easy. The world will pull you back into distraction. It will tell you that silence is strange, that reflection is a waste, because clarity is dangerous to a system built on confusion. But for those willing to walk this path, the rewards are immense. Stay with me, because in the next section, we'll explore why clarity is not only personal, but a revolutionary force that can reshape the world around you. Now imagine this: what happens when one person sees clearly in a world built on noise? They become unshakable. When you strip away the fog, you no longer chase empty rewards. You are no longer triggered by every headline. You no longer crave validation from the crowd. You become dangerous not in violence, but in independence. Montaigne believed this was the highest freedom. The most certain sign of wisdom is cheerfulness. Not blind optimism, but calm confidence rooted in clarity. A person who sees clearly cannot be manipulated. They cannot be herded into outrage. They cannot be sold hollow promises. And so, the world will resist you. Friends may not understand. Culture will pull you back toward noise. But if you persist, something shifts. Your clarity begins to disturb the fog in others. You become a mirror. Your presence alone forces others to confront their own illusions. This is why true clarity is revolutionary. Because one clear mind inspires others. And in time, small acts of clarity ripple outward, changing families, communities, even societies. But it begins with a choice. A simple, courageous choice to value truth over comfort, to seek stillness over stimulation, to belong to yourself fully. Montaigne knew this, and now, so do you. So I leave you with this: dare to be clear in a world that fears it.